What's going on YouTube? My name is FG3000. I'm back in the place to be and welcome to the Warriors of Waterdeep, a brand new officially licensed Dungeons & Dragons game brought to you by Ludia. Ludia being the same exact company that brought you the AR game Jurassic World Alive, as well as the hero collector Ninja Turtles Legend. So they are back with a brand new title based on Dungeons & Dragons. So let's jump right in to kind of see what they came up with. So we're going to start off with the Explore function, which is basically the PvE mode. Click on this first node here. Now, just like in Dungeons & Dragons, you do have a DM that kind of narrates your adventure. So she'll intro dungeons for you, talk about different pathways. She'll talk trash about you when you lose, talk about different creatures in the dungeon. So very nice touch. And I do appreciate the fact that they do have that fully voice acted. So very good there. So here we are inside combat. Now, this game does have an elemental wheel system that is represented with these arrows. So if you see green arrows, that means I have an elemental advantage towards that enemy type. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is just do a basic attack to one of these skeletons. Pretty straightforward. Now the game is very streamlined, so all I have to do if I want to attack a specific skeleton here, all I got to do is just double click that skeleton. My character will automatically activate their basic attack. So very streamlined. It's not going to be like one of those games where you have to click the enemy, click the attack that you want to do, and then click again. Very streamlined and very straightforward. I do appreciate that. So all of your characters do have different abilities as well. So my little half-orc warrior here can taunt. So I'll go ahead and set up a taunt here, which of course means everyone has to attack her first. I can buff my character squad here so my cleric can do an attack up bonus. Also have this really interesting ability right here that my bard can do where I can kind of push and pull my allies around because sometimes you do want to have a character closer to an enemy so they can do melee attacks, and sometimes you want a ranged character kind of get out of combat. The characters can move on their own. I'm kind of show you that here in a second. Let's go ahead and just blast you in the face. So I can move around the battlefield, and as you guys can see, I can't attack the skeleton because I am melee, so I'm gonna have to move myself forward. So the really interesting thing that your bard can do is to try to push some of your, allies closer to melee range, and then kind of pull some of your range, companions away and out of melee range as well. So kind of interesting. And that does kind of play into some of the combat that you have to do in this game. I'm gonna go ahead and throw a regeneration on my main tank there. I'm gonna move my mage a little closer forward. Once again, move my little tank there forward, move my cleric forward. Now we're in melee range. Now we can actually do some damage to the skeleton over here. She can as well, so I'm gonna go ahead and do this range attack, which also has a little damage boost associated with it. One shot and down you go. So that is pretty much the overall flow of combat, but it does get a little bit more intricate, and hopefully I can kind of show you that as we move along. So that was a little different pathway that I can take. And of course, like I said, the DM will narrate your decisions as you go through dungeons. So elemental advantage towards that little skeleton there. I can do range attack from a distance to kind of finish you off. Same thing here, my bard can do ranged attacks with the power of music, of course. My orc here can actually hit from this range as long as I am one tile away. It doesn't matter where I am. So if an enemy was right here and my orc was right over here, I can still hit that enemy as long as they're just one tile away from me. Now, if they were way up here, I would not be able to. So that's something that looks a little weird, but it makes sense, I guess. And as you guys can see, once again, the DM will kind of tell you what you accomplished in that dungeon. Now, as long as everyone lives, they will get experience points, but if someone dies, they just get half experience. And you also get gold as well. And you get chests for your troubles there. There's some gold, there's some pantaloonies, lots of pantaloonies, some rings, arrows, some swords, etc., etc. Now, before we continue on in combat, I'll show you the upgrade system. It's very Clash Royale-esque. So if I go over here to my heroes, I'll go over here to my bard, go to her boots or her pants, and I can upgrade her pants by using in-game currency, which is gold here, as long as I have enough. So in order for me to get these pair of pants up to level 4, I'm gonna need 6 more pairs of pants pieces in order to get her to basically level up her pants to the next level. So let's go ahead and upgrade our cleric's weapon here. That takes a lot of gold. That's gonna make me broke. So I'm not gonna be able to, oh, actually, I just equipped this ring here. So let's go ahead and equip this ring. Very, very nice, but I can't afford to upgrade it because I have no gold whatsoever. So let's jump back over into the dungeon, and we're gonna get all the way to this boss for this video, so I can kind of show you some more gameplay strategy in this game, ladies and gentlemen. All right, so here's a little bit different. So as you guys can see, there is some debris in the way. So I have to be kind of cautious on who I kind of stick into these slots here. So first thing I'm going to do, I'm just going to hit you with a ranged attack. That's a miss, unfortunately. Now they've kind of boxed us in, but that's okay. I'm going to go ahead and set up taunt here to keep my people protected. Now I have an ability right here, which is a melee attack plus a push. It's probably going to one-shot this kobold, but I'm going to do it anyway. Almighty push! Ah, dead. But I can also push people away from my mage here if I do, you know, if I feel like I'm kind of in danger. So we'll go ahead and do an attack buff here. Smack you in the face. Very nice. We're kind of wedged in here a little bit, but I can still smack you in the face with a mallet. I'll go ahead and move my wizard up just a little bit. Not the best choice, but you'll be all right. Move my cleric up. The really neat thing about moving my cleric is the fact that, look, that I push them up even further up. That's actually really cool. I like that. But the neat thing about my cleric is every time he moves, he actually heals, which is actually pretty cool. As far as cooldowns are concerned, while you're in the dungeon, so as you guys can see in this dungeon, there are 3 different rooms. So your cooldowns do persist, but buffs do not. Let's go over here. Let's go to the right pathway. I don't really know the difference between some of these pathways. Sometimes a pathway will be a secret room, which is actually pretty cool. Let's smack you in the face. All right. I'm just gonna one-shot you because easy work. All right, let's go ahead and put, actually I probably shouldn't have put that regeneration on my orc there. He's probably not gonna get full advantage out of that, but I'll go ahead and top you off. Do some range attacks. Down you go. Moving on over to the final room. And as you guys can see, check this out. So it doesn't really tell you exactly what these all mean. I'm going to assume that this is harder. But at no point did the game kind of explain what all those little icons meant yet. So I'm kind of confused on that. Or maybe I missed it. Maybe I missed it. Don't think I did, but I could have. Go ahead and take care of you really quick here. We'll move you up forward, which is probably not going to matter. You'll probably be dead before I get there. My wizard is extremely strong here. Very, very powerful. And there you go. Now, as far as heroes that are in this game, and we're going to take a small break before we do this boss encounter to kind of show you what heroes are about in this game. All right, go back over here to the home screen here in a second. So I have this little band of heroes. I have my bard, my cleric, my barbarian, my wizard, which you've already seen. I do have this ranger as well. And there are 3 more characters that I'll unlock. So everyone is going to unlock all of the characters in the game, and that's going to make more sense once we start talking about PvP. So I just wanted to kind of point that out because this is not really a hero collector per se. It's more of like a dungeon crawler PvP game because everyone, like I said, will get all of the characters. Hopefully they add more characters in the future because I feel like the roster's a little small. The good thing about the characters that we do have, though, is that all of the armor and weapons do appear on your character. So that's a pretty nice touch. So let's go ahead and finish off our little PvE run with destroying this boss here.
Some say the mines are cursed as a result.
Very interesting. All right. And like I said, once again, as you get deeper and deeper in the game does throw little different, you know, layouts in front of you that kind of make it a little trickier for you. I'm gonna see if I can one-shot you really quick. Yes, I can. We'll finish you off here. Now, when I first saw this game advertised, I was actually really excited because I really wanted a Dungeons and Dragons inspired game for mobile that was good. And I will say, once I finally saw screenshots of the game, I was very disappointed. So I was excited at first when it was announced, and then I saw screenshots, and then I was very disappointed. But when I started playing the game, I was like, you know what? It's not bad. It's actually not bad. I actually started to enjoy myself quite a bit with the game. So obviously, still in the honeymoon phase with the game, so we'll see how it kind of pans out. Here's the secret room over here, so we'll go in this direction. But so far, I kind of like the game. I wish the game had a ×2 speed function. I don't need autoplay in this one, but I would appreciate if there's a little faster speed option to kind of make the combat move a little faster. But other than that, I'm actually low-key impressed with the game. Now, I still have a beef with it, however, and I'll kind of talk about that as we kind of go through this dungeon here. Now, if you've ever heard of the term MVP, Actually, let's go ahead and heal my wizard here. Now, this game reminds me of the term MVP. Now, if you've never heard that term before, I'll kind of explain it real quick. There is this notion that there are game companies out there that only put out games that are MVP. Now, what does MVP mean, FG? You done said it like 3 times. All right, MVP, I said it 4. MVP is basically minimal viable product. The bare minimum for a product to be viable. And when I kind of see this game, I feel like they could have done so much more with it, but it seems like they just wanted to put out a very solid foundation, which they did, but it just seems like it's the bare minimum of like what would pass as a game, right? Like, it just seems like they could have did a lot more with this, and the game could have been so much better, but it seems like they put out this game at its basic foundation to kind of see if people like it, and then at that point, they'll actually invest time and effort to make the game better, which they probably will. If the game is successful, I'm sure they're going to invest more resources into the game, but I really wish they would have put a better step forward into the game, because it looks like it could have been so much more. All right, so what we're going to do, go ahead and set up our taunt, because this game at its core, it's basically PvP, this PvE mode that I've already shown you, and that's it. That's all the game really has. There's no like guilds or anything like that. There's no raids or any, like I just feel like there could have been so much more. And hopefully there will be. Oh, this guy regenerates. Oh man, was not prepared for that, ladies and gentlemen. All right, so like I said, we're fighting a boss here, and this is something that I definitely wanted to show you. Can I finish you off? I want to get, if I can take the boss down, maybe I can start working out everybody else here. But we were taking a lot of damage. I don't know how he, okay, so he regenerates 1 time, it looks like. Take you out there. All right, we're doing all right. We should be able to finish these skeletons out without too much trouble. Easy win, easy life. I'm actually gonna take this turn to heal up my wizard because I need her alive big time. If she dies, we're pretty much done. Let's go ahead and scoot our cleric a little further up. I'm gonna have to scoot my wizard up as well. I probably should have scooted my wizard up. That was actually a misplay. Actually a misplay there. Scoot up our bard. I'm gonna be able to one-shot you, so smack you in the face. Down you go. GG. There you go. So that was a boss encounter here inside Warriors of Waterdeep. But like I said, I'm having a pretty good time with the game. I can't lie. I wish there was more. All right, so I just defeated that boss. I'm gonna open up this card pack. For whatever reason, this game decided to actually have like card packs. I don't know why they put card packs in the game. It breaks my immersion, is what I'm trying to say. So there you have it. Down goes the boss. GG, and we'll move on to the next node. So same thing that you just saw me do. I'm gonna attack these little nodes right here and fight a boss encounter and continue to move on in my adventure as my squad gets more and more powerful. So there you go. What else can you do in this game, FG? Well, like I said, MVP. It's very basic. What's here, I enjoy. I think it's fun. I wish they would have just put a bigger step forward to make this game kind of pop with something a little different. So I showed you Explore mode. This game also has PvP, and you guys can already see the chests here. So as you win in PvP, we'll get these chests that unlock on a timer. You've seen these tropes before. You unlock them with cash shop currency, or you just wait. Unlike one of my favorite games, Looney Tunes World of Mayhem, all the chests don't open at the same time, so they have to open one by one. So kind of frustrating. The interesting thing about PvP in this game, however, so you saw all the characters in the game that I showed you, right? In this game, you're gonna have to keep everyone leveled up because in PvP, you do not get to select who you bring into combat. PvP randomly assigns your team based on your roster. So it's gonna take 4 random people from your roster and throw you into PvP. So you can't like make a meta team, you can't kind of min-max or anything like that because the game, oh, I just ran my timer out talking trash. The game will always randomly select party members based on who you have unlocked, which is kind of interesting. I kind of like that, low-key I kind of like that. Because it just kind of keeps you on your toes. It does kind of force you to level up everyone, which some people may or may not like. But I do like the fact that you can't just make, you know, a really boring basic meta team and only use that team forever. Up, down goes my bard because I was not paying attention when the match first began, and the autoplay scooted them forward for no reason. That's okay though. But we're gonna be able to beat this PvP encounter pretty easy. Since this game like literally just launched, I'm pretty sure I've been playing this game longer than most people have. So I'm pretty far ahead. That's what I'm trying to say here. There's my little dragon ranger, dragonkin ranger, I should say. PvP victory. You get a chest. The chest goes into one of your little slots there to be unlocked in the future. Rinse and repeat. Now, for the sake of the YouTube, let's open up one of these chests. Oh, that costs 48. This costs 18. Let's just open up one of these chests to see what we get out of it. All right, got some coins. I got some gear. Very Clash Royale style, as you guys have noticed. I'll go ahead and start unlocking. I'm gonna start unlocking this 3-hour one to knock that out sooner. And there you go. In the last and final mode, so we showed you PvE, we showed you battle, which is PvP, and last but not least, there is a thing called challenge mode, which is kind of this once every few hours, I forgot the exact amount of hours here, one of these modes where you basically go through these dungeons as far as you possibly can. You're gonna get rewards the further you go, which are basically more upgrade equipment. So in 4 hours, basically, or 3 hours and 33 minutes exactly, I'll be able to do a free run inside this dungeon. I'll go as far as I possibly can, and I'll get these rewards. If I want to do another run, I can pay gold, but this is one of those games where gold is that's a resource you really need to hold on to because that's how you upgrade your characters, that's how you level up. Gold is a very limiting resource in this game, so you probably only really want to do the free runs, and as you guys can see, there are different free runs that you can do based on, I assume, what day it is. So there's like a golem there, some living armor, a dragon, a mind flayer, so very Dungeons and Dragons-esque. And once again, I would love to see some co-opness with some of this stuff. Guild system, something like I would love to see this game take a bigger step forward. It just seems like they just put out just the bare minimum, man. And like I said, I'm very pleasantly surprised on how good this game actually plays. It's not a looker. It don't look really good, but it's actually a pretty fun experience. So I do recommend people jumping on, but do keep in mind what's here at the very beginning is just kind of basic level. But even with this game just being very basic, very MVP, emphasis on the V, there is VIP in the game. Now, it's not a leveled up VIP, it's more of like a monthly subscription. So if you do a monthly subscription in this game, it costs you $10 a month. You're gonna get more rewards out of chests. So there's like a VIP chest that you get. There's a daily VIP chest that you can unlock. You get equipment slots. Actually, it does level up. I take that back, it does level up. I lied. So yeah, it's your normal VIP system. So there you go. But that will do it. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, once again, my name is FG3000. This has been a look at Warriors of Waterdeep, an official Dungeons and Dragons game. Overall, I do recommend it, but just know what you're getting into. It's not going to be a game that's going to really blow your mind. But what's here, especially if you're a Dungeons and Dragons fan, what's here at the basic level is a really good foundation. Hopefully this game is, something special and maybe 2 or 3 major update patches. But at the end of the day, I wish the game would have started with those major update patches. Why do we have to wait for really basic features that have just been like the baseline of other guilds or other games like guilds, friends lists, co-op stuff? That should have been the baseline. Then you build on that. It feels like this game started in the negative when it comes to features, and it's gonna build up to be a normal game, which is a little frustrating. But that is that. Once again, my name is FG3000. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Later.